All right, had some technical difficulties. Hey everyone, I came out here to get some tomatoes off of the plant that already had kind of like the blush to them. All of them have started to turn. I've been doing that this whole season for a number of reasons. Number one, a lot of the ones that I leave on there that I want to ripen on the vine, because we have so much rain off and on. Like we'll have like 3 or 4 days of rain and then it'll be hot. And we won't have rain for like a week. And it's just been like that the whole season. So when you have the inconsistent watering, you get a lot of split fruit, and majority of my tomatoes have split because of it. So anytime I see just a little blush, like as you can see, this one has already started to split a few times and scab over, but it's already started to ripen. This one has not split as much, but it's already started to ripen. So I'm just going ahead and taking these off the plant. So anyways, I came out here and I started doing that. And I went over to my cherry tomatoes and I saw, first off, I picked a huge hornworm off of my peppers. I can't remember which pepper it was. I don't know if it was a spicy pepper. I thought that they didn't really care for peppers too much, but apparently they do. Because this thing was huge. Now the plant wasn't really demolished. Like, I'm getting ready to show you my cherry tomatoes where you can see the devastation. So if you see this, there's no leaves. No leaves. Like, this thing has eaten this plant. It looks like just sticks sticking out. Like, I mean, anyways, the other hornworm was as big as this one. And I haven't been keeping up with them like I should have, so this is my fault. But let me just show you this. Do you see this hornworm right here? It has a whole bunch of little white things. This hornworm is dead. Even if it starts moving, this thing is dead. What those white things are, those are wasp eggs. The wasp larvae are eating that hornworm from the inside out. So I'm not even gonna touch it. I'm gonna leave it alone. That is one of the things that wasps are good for in the garden. Pest control. Hornworms will devastate a plant. It has gone through, I mean, like even down here, I don't know if you can see this right here. Can you see this? Like that whole part of this plant demolished. This one hornworm, and I'm believing it was one, this one hornworm has made this plant, like all the greenery is gone. And you just see these cherry tomatoes. One hornworm. I've had a few. I picked off a couple smaller ones. I got a really big one day when I came out here with the black light. And I don't know if I ever uploaded that video. It was just so dark. But I'm going to put a picture in if I can get it in here. But I'm just looking for more damage. A lot of these plants I'm going to pull up anyway, but I just happened to see all of these cherry tomatoes that were ripe, so I wanted to pick them. But anyway, so had the wasp not dealt with that hornworm for me, the entire plant would be gone, including some of the tomatoes. So like I could show you some of the damage that's done to some of the tomatoes. Let me get over here. So I don't know if you can see that. This tomato right here, that was eaten by that hornworm. I guarantee. There's more like that looks like it's okay, but let's turn it to the side. That hornworm was eating on those tomatoes. I mean, because it looks like let me get this one off, which is right beside it. It looks like something took a bite out of it, right? And I was talking to someone at the farmer's market yesterday about his tomatoes, and he says it looks like something is eating, like taking chunks out of my tomato plants. And he said, I'm not getting a really good, they just look really bad. And I said, I guarantee it's probably a hornworm. And I showed him a picture of the hornworm that I pulled off of my plant. And I said, they will go around and they will eat some of the tomato and a lot of the green leaves off of the plants. And so I told him to go out there with a black light to look for him. So I'm gonna wait and see what he says this weekend coming up, this next weekend, if he did it and if it was successful, because I guaranteed him it was not. He said he thought it might have been a squirrel, and I was like, I doubt it. Squirrels will pick the fruits and stuff off of your plants, and they'll take bites of them and then throw them around the ground. They don't usually like nibble on them on the plant. They'll grab them. Now, you know, there's animals act different ways, but just from what he was describing, I guarantee he has hornworms, if not multiple, at least one that has grown and has been eating. And if it has been there for a while, it may have already matured into a beautiful moth. I don't know, but that is a pest that you deal with in the summer with tomatoes and apparently peppers. Ooh, look at this tomato. So I'm gonna keep collecting. I didn't have my phone out here when I was out here originally. I went in to get my phone when I saw that hornworm with the wasp eggs on it. But my ground cherries, and I have some that are going to mature here shortly. I really need to weed like bad. Let me see if I can find another one. It hasn't matured completely, and it was very small, the one that I ate, but I ate it, so I didn't get a chance to show you. But what will happen is the ground cherries will turn, like you see this one? They will start to turn like a tan kind of color, and that is when they are just about ripe. They're called ground cherries because they will fall on the ground when they are fully ripe. The one that I got was on the ground. That one I could pull off, and it might be ripe enough. It might be sweet enough, but I don't think it's going to get any bigger. I think I had some smaller ground cherries to mature faster, but I have so many. Like this plant has a bunch of them. I don't know if you can see. They're green, so they kind of blend in, but this is like this right here, these right here, there's some more in here. Like they have a bunch on this plant, and all of them look like that. They're not ripe yet. We also still have these babies here that are, whoa, almost slipped, getting bigger. I'll go around the other side and see if any more melons over here have presented themselves. This one doesn't look like it's growing at all. Like it's been the same size for a while. I don't think they're all getting pollinated, because that one, I do see one that tried to form and it has rotted away. So it must not have been pollinated. Here's one that's forming, but the flower is still on it. So I'm gonna leave it alone because it may need to be pollinated. This one is growing just a tad. I don't know if you can see that. So it's a jungle in there, and it's starting to rain. So I'm gonna leave this where it is. My mint bed is coming back. I don't know if I told you all before that it almost died. Well, it did die. I pulled up all the mint and I replanted. I tried some potatoes in this grow bag because the potatoes that were right here were very, very small. And the ones that I had put in the grow bag before I made this row, they were larger when I harvested from them. So I figured I would try the grow bag again. Now, I'm going to just be honest. I've never grown sweet potatoes. I do not know at all if, when, how you know if it's time to dig those up. I honestly don't know at all. I don't know. I think I'm going to leave them for now. Unless they start to look like they're dying, I'm going to leave them for now. And if they start looking like they're dying, I'm going to go ahead and dig them up. But I don't want to dig them up and they're not ready. So I'm going to leave them. Ooh, look at this. This is pretty. Okay, I get really excited. Look at that. You see these tassels? So each one of these tassels is going to be a kernel on the corn cob. So they have to each be pollinated in order for you to have a full cob of corn. So if you've ever planted corn before and you've gotten corn where it's been missing some kernels on the cob, more than likely what has happened is those tassels did not get pollinated by, and they have to be pollinated by other. I got some bugs on here, and I don't know if these bugs are damaging or not. I don't even know what kind of bug that is. It looks like it's a pollinator, so I'm gonna leave it. If I see holes and stuff later, then we got a problem. But it looks like a pollinator. Anyway, so if you have corn, oh, it's a lot of them that have tassels on it now. That's the prettiest one. I don't know. I must have planted, it must have been a seed in there that was different in the package that I planted, because I don't see any more of that color, which is odd. I only had two types, and one was white and one was yellow. So that's odd. But anyways, so if you have grown corn and you've gotten corn that there's kernels missing, it is because all of the tassels did not get pollinated. So I kind of go out there and I move them around a little bit. I don't know if that does anything. I don't really want to mess with it too much, but it's starting to. The drops are starting to get heavier, so I'm gonna go ahead and carry myself inside. I do have a lot more eggplants though. Let me show you this real quick. And I need to get the eggs. But we got some eggplants more. I mean, I've harvested probably 8 so far. And they're just still coming back. The cucumbers, every time I say I'm going to pull some cucumbers, I get things like this. And then, like, I'm not going to try to show you all of them, but as you can see, the leaves, like, I want to pull these cucumbers so bad because these leaves are just yellow and dead, but I just keep getting more and more. And there's little ones on here. Like, it's so hard to get you to see. You see? They're all over the place. So I don't want to pull them up when they're still producing, even though the leaves look terrible. Now, I have had some, look at that, another one, and they're hiding. I found one huge and yellow, and that let me know, don't step on them, please. Can you pick that up? I don't even know where that came from. I found one that was hiding, and then the leaves kind of died around it, and it was so big. I ended up giving it to the chickens because I can't do anything with it. It was yellow and big. It would have been nasty to try to eat. These tomatoes are producing so much, but they're all little. These are supposed to be larger tomatoes according to the seed, unless these got mixed up with the twins as well. and I planted all the wrong tomatoes in this. This might be the Roma or Amish paste. I don't know. But see how small they are? They're all this small. I don't have any big ones. I keep saying I'm going inside. The rain keeps getting harder and harder. But yeah, so hopefully I need to start seed. I think my next video is going to be me starting some seed for the fall, because I need to do that. I need to go ahead and start my kale, collards. I think I have mustard greens seeds, turnip, Brussels sprout, cabbage. I don't know if I'm gonna do broccoli this year. I have some cauliflower seeds, but before I plant stuff like cauliflower, I don't cook a lot with it. And so I don't want to take up a lot of space with it until I have at least 2 or 3 recipes that I know I can cook and the kids will eat. Because things like broccoli and cauliflower take up a lot of space and you get one head. So for me to dedicate that much space to one vegetable that I will need in order to cook for my entire family, probably at least 3 of those heads, it's got to be something that we're going to actually eat and not just waste space. Right now, where I can't grow and raise all of our food, I want to at least try to grow and raise as much of our food as possible. And the things that I can't grow or I choose not to grow,